You ever smell some weed and it smells like straight up Parmesan or goat cheese? Well, we're about to dive into the science of cheesy weed because we're just starting to figure out the chemistry, and there's actually some really interesting lore behind it. Originally, it was speculated that the cheesy smell of some strains came from a compound called isovaleric acid. This is because this compound is found in Parmesan cheese, and it's also produced as a byproduct during the fermentation process of hops. And since hops and cannabis are in the same family, it made sense why we thought that this is where the cheesy smell came from in cannabis. However, isovaleric acid has never been documented in cannabis before, even when Abstracts Tech was evaluating the most ranky, cheesy varieties like blue cheese or Cheezel. Instead, their research actually identified some other compounds that contributed to these super cheesy varieties. In their first paper, they found that two fatty acids, decanoic and octanoic acid, contributed to the cheesy smell, as well as a ketone called 2-heptanone. Further studies, when evaluating other cheesy varieties like Thunderbird cheese, they identified another compound called hexanoic acid that also contributed to this aroma. Hexanoic acid seems to be an especially key player in the foul, rank, stanky, cheesiest varieties. Interestingly, all these compounds have secondary names that are rooted in capra, which is Latin for goat. So it seems like other scientists have known the cheesy origins of these compounds for some time. And that stanky smell of cheese doesn't just come from these fatty compounds. There's also other compounds like esters that add to the sweetness and the more complexity of the aroma. Understanding the unique chemistry of these cheesy varieties allows breeders to know what to look for and what to smell for when hunting for the next cheesy strain. And if you want to nerd out even more about these newfound flavorants, make sure to check out the full white paper on abstractstech.com.